Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Stapakaya ca dharmasya Sarvadharmasvarupine Stapakaya ca dharmasya Sarvadharmasvarupine Avatara Varishtaya Ramakrishna te Namah. Asato ma sadgamaya Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Mrityorma mritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God incarnate, who came to establish religion universal. Let us pray to him to lead us from the unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. We have been studying Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Various spiritual paths have been given to us by Sri Ramakrishna with specific instructions. So today's topic I am speaking on exemplary devotion. Sri Ramakrishna came to establish that all spiritual paths are valid. Every spiritual path leads to the goal. But one has to pursue the spiritual path with all zealousness, with unshakable faith and strong determination. And it is possible only when we are sincere to the backbone. So we should examine ourselves how far we are fulfilling all these qualities in our life. We should not observe the people moving in different ways and quarreling in the name of religion and so on. We should not waste our time in such silly things. The moment we quarrel in the name of religion, we cease to be spiritual. Spiritual life is highly personalized life. Be spiritual, be contented. Don't broadcast yourself to be the leader of the humanity. Be humble, free from ego. Feel that you are blessed, that you have been accepted by God. Then we will be safe in our spiritual path. The paths are very clean. Only we are not following the discipline in a proper way. Sri Ramakrishna says in the Gospel, God has put you in the world. What can you do about it? You have to manage how to live. Resign everything to Him. Surrender yourself at His feet. Then there will be no more confusion. Then you will realize that it is God who does everything. All depends on the will of Rama. So, Sri Ramakrishna has clearly told us the way we should proceed in the spiritual path. He also said how the devotion of the gopis of Vrindavan were exemplary. They had ecstatic love, unswerving and single-minded devotion to one ideal. Do you know the meaning of devotion that is not loyal to one ideal? It is devotion tinged with intellectual knowledge. It makes one feel Krishna has become all these. He alone is the Supreme Brahman. He is Rama, Shiva and Shakti. But this element of knowledge is not present in ecstatic love of God. Once Hanuman came to Dwarak and wanted to see Sita and Rama. His chosen ideal was Sri Ramachandra and Janaki. Krishna said to Rukmini, his queen, well, you had better assume the form of Sita, otherwise there will be no escape from the hands of Hanuman. God takes the form of which form the devotee wants to visualize. Once the Pandava brothers performed Rajasuya sacrifice, all the kings placed Yudhishthira on the royal throne and bowed low before him in homage. But Vibhishan, the king of Ceylon, said, I bow down to Narayana and to none else. At these words, the Lord Krishna himself bowed down to Yudhishthira. Only then did Vibhishana prostrate himself, crown and all, before him. Do you know what devotion to one ideal is like? It is like the attitude of a daughter-in-law in the family. She serves all the members of the family, her brothers-in-law, father-in-law, husband and so forth, bringing them water to wash their feet, fetching their towels, arranging their seats and the like. But with her husband she has a special relationship. There are two elements in this ecstatic love, I-ness and minus. M-Y-N-E-S-S, minus. Yashoda used to think, who would look after Gopal if I did not? He will fall ill if I don't serve him. She did not look on Krishna as God. The other element is minus, M-Y-N-E-S-S. It means to look on God as one's own, my Gopala. Uddhava said to Yashoda, Mother, your Krishna is God himself. He is the Lord of the universe and not a common human being. Oh, exclaimed Yashoda, I am not asking you about your Lord of the universe. I want to know how my Gopala fares. Not the Lord of the universe, but my Gopal. How faithful to Krishna the gopis were. After many entreaties to the doorkeeper, the gopis entered the royal court in Mathura, where Sri Krishna was seated as king. The doorkeeper took them to him. But at the sight of King Krishna wearing the royal turban, the gopis bent down their heads and said among themselves, "Who is this man with a turban on his head? Should we violate our chaste love for Krishna by talking to him? Where is our beloved Krishna with yellow robe and the bewitching crest with peacock feather?" Did you observe the single-minded love of the gopis for Krishna? The ideal of Vrindavan is unique. I am told, Sri Ramakrishna said, that the people of Dwarka worship Krishna, the companion of Arjuna, but reject Radha. A devotee asked a question, "Sir, what's the better, ecstatic love or love mixed with knowledge?" Sri Ramakrishna explains it. It is not possible to develop ecstatic love of God unless you love Him very deeply and regard Him as your very own. Then Sri Ramakrishna tells a story. Once 3 friends were going through a forest when a tiger suddenly appeared before them. "Brothers," one of them exclaimed, "we are lost." "Why should you say that?" said the second friend. "Why should we be lost? Come, let us pray to God." The third friend said, "No. Why should we trouble God about it? Come, let us climb this tree." The friend who said, "We are lost," did not know that there is a God who is our protector. The friend who asked the others to pray to God was a jnani. He was aware that God is the creator, preserver and destroyer of the world. The third friend, who didn't want to trouble God with prayers and suggested climbing the tree, had ecstatic love of God. It is the very nature of such love that it makes a man think himself stronger than his beloved. He is always alert lest his beloved should suffer. The one desire of his life is to keep his beloved from even being pricked in the foot by a thorn. During the Lord's incarnation as Sri Ramchandra, His infinite compassion and inherent accessibility became manifest during the many instances when He met His devotees face to face. It was their good fortune to be overwhelmed and blessed in these encounters. It is pointed out that when 2 such devotees who excel in their pure and faultless bhakti to the Lord met on the banks of the Ganga, as happened in the case of the hunter Guha and Bharat, it is an opportunity for discovering each other's sincere devotion to Sri Ramchandra. Guha was blessed to have served Sri Ramchandra during the first lap of his forest life. Touched by Guha's devotion, Sri Rama accepted him as his own brother and sought his help to cross the river. So Guha developed a possessive love towards Sri Rama that bordered on the overprotective. This made him suspect Bharata's wholesome and untainted love for his brother. That's why he was initially unable to fathom the cause of the huge army of Bharat that was fast approaching his kingdom. He wondered whether it was with an evil intent to harm Sri Ramchandra to ensure the prosperous Ayodhya for himself that Bharat was thus trailing Sri Rama. Though extremely pained at this insinuation, Bharat clarified that his intention was to persuade Sri Rama to return to Ayodhya. Bharat learned from Guha each and every detail of Sri Rama's brief stay in the place. Guha was witness to the utter transparency of Bharat's nobility and unflinching devotion when he saw Bharat, unable to bear the thought of the hardships of his brother, would experience in the forest. Guha got an opportunity to set right his wrong assessment of Bharat. The two bhaktas now experienced a close-knit friendship because they acknowledged their similar status and common goal, devotion to Sri Ram. Even as Guha sought Bharata's pardon for his error of misunderstanding, Bharat was overjoyed to see the great devotion of Guha. Guha claimed that Bharat's fame was unequalled since he relinquished a kingdom that had come to him without any effort. So that is a test. God tests our devotion in so many ways. So when we come out successful through the test, we feel more and more joyful and blissful. Hanuman said, another devotee of exemplary devotion, he said, I don't know the position of the stars or the face of the moon. I only think of Sri Ram. The chatak bird craves only rainwater. Even when it is dying of thirst, it turns its beak upward and wants only water from the sky. The Ganges, the Jamuna, and the 7 oceans are filled to the brim, but still it will not touch the water of the earth. Ram and Lakshman visited Pampa lake. Lakshman saw a crow very eager for water. Again and again it went to the edge of the water but would not drink. Lakshman asked Ram about it. Ram said, brother, this crow is a great devotee of God. Day and night it repeats the name of Ram. Its throat is parched with thirst, but still it won't drink for fear of missing a repetition of Rama's name. Thus the example for exemplary devotion. On a full moon night, I said to Haldari, brother, is it the night of the new moon? All laugh. Smiling, he said, yes, it is true. Once I was told that a characteristic of a man of perfect knowledge is that he can't distinguish between the full moon and the new moon. But how could one convince Haladari of that? He said, this is certainly the dark Kali Yuga. He cannot distinguish the full moon from the new moon, and people respect him. Mahimacharan entered the room. Master said respectfully, come in. Please take a seat. To Vijay and the other devotees, Sri Ramakrishna said, in the ecstatic state of mind, I can't remember a date. The other day, there was a religious festival at Benipal's garden. I forgot the date. I can no longer remember the last day of the month, when it is very auspicious to repeat the name of God. Sri Ramakrishna remained throughout thoughtful a few minutes. He said, but I remember if a man makes an engagement to visit me, a man attains this state when his mind is 100% absorbed in God. When Hanuman returned from Ceylon, Sri Ram said to him, we have seen Sita. Tell me, how did you find her? Hanuman said, O Ram, I saw that only the body of Sita lay there. It held neither her mind nor her soul. She has indeed consecrated her mind and soul to your lotus feet. Therefore, I saw only her body in Ceylon. Further, I saw the king of death prowling about. But what could he do? It was only a body. It had neither mind nor soul. If you meditate on an ideal, you will acquire its nature. If you think of God day and night, you will acquire the nature of God. A salt dole went into the ocean to measure its depth. It became one with the ocean. What is the goal of books or scriptures? The attainment of God. A man opened a book belonging to a monk. He saw the word Rama written on every page. There is nothing else. If a man loves God, even the slightest thing kindles spiritual feeling in him. Then repeating the name of Ram but once, he gets the fruit of 10 million sandhyas. At the sight of a cloud, the peacock's emotion is awakened. It dances, spreading his tail. Radha had the same experience. Just the sight of a cloud recalled Krishna to her mind. Chaitanya Dev, a great devotee of Lord Krishna, was passing a village. He heard that drums were made from the earth of that place. At once he was overwhelmed with ecstasy, because drums are used in kirtan. But who can have the spiritual awakening? Only he who has renounced his attachment to worldly things. Such a person only can have spiritual awakening. If the sap of attachment is totally dried up in a man, the slightest suggestion kindles his spiritual emotion. Though you strike a wet match 1,000 times, it will not produce a spark. But if it is dried, the slightest rubbing will set it aflame. Pain and pleasure are inevitable in a body. He who has realized God dedicates his mind and life, his body and soul to God. When Ram and Lakshman went to take their bath in Pampa lake, they thrust their bows into the ground. Coming out of the water, Lakshman took out his bow and found its tip stained with blood. Ram said to him, "Look, brother, look, perhaps we have hurt some creature." Lakshman dug in the earth and found a big bullfrog. It was dying. Rama said to the frog in a sorrowful voice, "Why did you not croak? We should have tried to save you. You croak lustily enough when you are in the jaws of a snake." The frog said, "O Lord, when I am attacked by a snake, I croak saying, 'O Rama, save me, O Rama, save me.' This time I found that it was Rama who was killing me, so I kept still." Nice story. Among the foremost devotees of the Lord in his incarnation as Sri Ram, Hanuman has a unique status. He becomes the central figure in the canto named after him, the Sundarakand, as the Lord's envoy to search for the Divine Mother, Sita, in Lanka. His inimitable traits, like his physical prowess for undertaking this arduous journey to the enemy's land, and his acumen for executing the task successfully, came to the fore when he was unanimously chosen for the mission. Unanimously chosen for the mission. It is pointed out that Hanuman's singular qualities of head and heart enabled him to bring about the union of Rama and Sita. This union is termed as marriage of the soul in the spiritual tradition. Says Vishwamitra, who arrived at Dasharatha's court with the pretext of seeking Ram for protecting his sacrifice, actually desired to bring about the marriage of Rama and Sita, which he accomplished. This was a marriage about with the intention of upholding dharma in the world, for which the Lord had incarnated with his consort. The separation of Sita from Rama signifies the soul getting entrapped in worldly bondage and the ensuing suffering as a result. When Hanuman took leave of Rama, the Lord entrusted him with his signet ring so that Sita would be convinced that he was his messenger. She acknowledged with tears of joy on seeing it, and in return sent her Chudamani, an ornament worn on the head. This exchange of jewels also has a deeper symbolism, highlighting the dynamics of the doctrine of self-surrender. Prapatti Sharanagati. The ring being a jewel worn on the head, Chudamani, symbolizes the Lord's promise to offer protection to the soul in distress when it surrenders to Him. The Chudamani signifies supplication at the Lord's feet. When the devotee bows down, his head touches his feet. Thus, two basic conditions for Sharanagati to be effective are highlighted. As for Hanuman, he donned the role of the preceptor who brings about the union of the soul with the Lord. The Ramayana is thus hailed as a scriptural authority for the concept of Prapatti in Sri Vaishnava theology. Vibhishana's surrender being the paradigmatic instance of Sharanagati. Among the devotees of God who have become renowned for their exemplary devotion and service is Hanuman of Ramayana fame. He was great in every sense of the word. The trusted envoy of his dear Lord, the mission of reuniting Sita with Ram was entrusted to him, and no other incident is necessary to testify his greatness. Known as Anjaneya, since he was born as the spiritual offspring of the goddess Anjana and Vayu, the wind god, Vayu the wind god, when his mother was cursed to be born as a Vanara, he was blessed by his father that he would be the foremost in prowess and intelligence among the Vanaras. A well-known incident is recounted of his childhood. When feeling hungry and imagining the rising sun to be a fruit, Hanuman flew towards it in order to pluck and eat it. Indra, fearing the safety of the sun, threw his thunderbolt at him, which injured his cheek, from when he came to be known as Hanuman. To pacify his father, Vayu was enraged. To pacify his father, Vayu, who was enraged, Indra and the other gods showered boons on Hanuman, including the one making him immortal. Vali, before dying, tells Rama that even if he should forego Sugriva's help in the mission of finding Sita, he should not think of rejecting Hanuman's help. Perhaps in his dying moments, Vali could foresee the future with clarity and certainly must have known Hanuman's competence. True to his prediction, Sugriva, who was asked to start the search for Sita after the rainy season was over and given a respite to enjoy his newfound happiness, forgot all about the job entrusted to him. It is Hanuman who gave sane counsel to Sugriva, pointing out his duty, exhorting him to assemble his Vanara army to fulfill the task entrusted to him. After assigning different tasks to his commanders to search in all directions, Sugriva expressed the confidence he had in Hanuman by telling Ram that he would only succeed in locating Sita. The solemnity and the poignancy of the occasion can be very well imagined when Ram, placing his full trust in the fidelity and ability of Hanuman, entrusted his signet ring to him with the words, "Take this ring, I am full of hope that you will discover Sita. This ring will tell her that you are my messenger. Dear Hanuman, may you bring Sita and me together again." From here starts the Sundarakandam, which recounts the glorious deeds of this loyal and ideal servant of God. who in a fitting manner fulfilled the trust reposed in him with unwavering faith. So, host of devotees who are exemplary in devotion. We have Prahlad was another such great devotee. He was put into so many difficulties by his atheist father, Hiranyakashipu. But all through, Prahlad was simply remembering Lord Vishnu. Because he was a child, 5 years old, how can he fight with his father? His father was the greatest demon, powerful. So, he tortured Prahlad in so many ways. But all the time, he would think of Lord Vishnu. Prahlad said, hearing and chanting about the transcendental holy name, form, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes of Lord Vishnu, remembering them, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering the Lord respectful worship with 16 types of paraphernalia, offering prayers to the Lord, becoming his servant, considering the Lord's one's best friend, and surrendering everything unto him. That is, serving him with body, mind and words. These 9 processes are accepted as pure devotional service. One who has dedicated his life to the service of Vishnu, through these 9 methods should be understood to be the most learned person, for he has acquired complete knowledge. When Prahlad was asked by his father to say something on whatever he had learned, he considered that what he had learned from his spiritual master was the best of all teachings, whereas what he had learned about diplomacy from his material teachers, Sanda and Amarka, was useless. Bhaktihi pareshanubhavo viraktiranyatra. This is the symptom of pure devotional service. A pure devotee is interested only in devotional service, not in material affairs. To execute devotional service, one should always engage in hearing and chanting about the Divine Lord. So, we have many devotees who are really very great in their devotion. And the lives and the dealings of those devotees should inspire us in spiritual path to move vigorously without losing faith. What is needed is sincerity, steadfastness, zealousness, strong determination and willpower. Then certainly we will be able to progress in spiritual path and reach the destination. Page 988. Narendra said, "It seems there is no God. I pray so much, but there is no reply, none whatsoever. How many visions I have seen?" Sri Ramakrishna said, "How many mantras shining in letters of gold? How many visions of the goddess Kali? How many other divine forms? but still I have no peace. I think these are the words said by Narendra, not master. Will you kindly give me 6 paisa? Narendra asked for the money to pay his carriage hire to the Baranagar Math. Just then Shatkari arrived in a carriage. Of the same age as Narendra, he dearly loved the members of the monastery. He lived near the Math and worked in Calcutta. The carriage was his own. Narendra returned the money to M and said that he would go with Shatkari in his carriage. He asked M to give them some refreshments. M accompanied the 2 friends to the Baranagar Math. He wanted to see how the brothers spent their time and practiced sadhana. He wanted to see how Sri Ramakrishna, the master, was reflected in the hearts of the disciples. Niranjan was not at the Math. He had gone home to visit his mother, the only relative he had in the world. Baburam, Sharat and Kali had gone to Puri. They intended to spend a few days there. Narendra was in charge of the members of the monastery. Prasanna, Sharda Prasanna, one of the master's young disciples, had been practicing Astya Sadhana for the past few days. Once Narendra had told him of his desire to fast to death for the realization of God. During Narendra's absence in Calcutta, Prasanna had left the monastery for an unknown destination. When Narendra heard about it, he said to the brothers, "Why did Raja allow him to go?" Raja means Brahman. But Rakal had not been in the monastery at the time, having gone to the Dakshineshwar temple for a stroll. Narendra said, "Just let Raja come back to the monastery. I shall scold him. Why did he allow Prasanna to go away?" To Harish he said, "I am sure you were lecturing him then, standing with your feet apart. Couldn't you prevent his going away?" Harish replied in a very low voice, Brother Tarak asked him not to go, but still he went away." Narendra said to him, "You see what a lot of trouble I am in here too. I am involved in a world of Maya. Who knows where this boy has gone?" Rakal returned from Dakshineshwar. Bhavanath had accompanied him. Narendra told Rakal about Prasanna's going away from the monastery. Prasanna had left a letter for Narendra. This was the substance of the letter. "I am going to Vrindavan on foot. It is very risky for me to live here. Here, my mind is undergoing a change. Formerly, I used to dream about my parents and other relatives. Then I dreamt of woman, the embodiment of Maya. I have suffered twice. I had to go back to my relatives at home. Therefore, I am going far away from them. The master once told me, your people at home are apt to do anything. Never trust them." Rakal said, "These are the reasons for his going away." Once he remarked, "Narendra often goes home to look after his mother, brothers and sisters, and he supervises the family's lawsuit. I am afraid that I too may feel like going home, following his example." Narendra remained silent. Rakal was talking to them about making pilgrimage. He said, We have achieved nothing by staying here. The Master always exhorted us to realize God. Have we succeeded? Rakal lay down. The other devotees were either lying down or sitting. Rakal said, "Let us go to the Narmada." Narendra said, "What will you achieve by wandering about? Can one ever attain jnana that you are talking about it so much?" A devotee. "Then why have you renounced the world?" Narendra said, "Must we live with sham because we have not seen Ram? Must we go on begetting children because we have not realized God? What are you talking about?" Narendra went out, returning after a few minutes. Rakkal was still lying down. A member of the monastery who was also lying down said teasingly, feigning great suffering on account of his separation from God, "Oh, please get me a knife. I have no more use for this life. I can't stand this pain anymore." Narendra, also feigning seriousness, "It is there. Stretch out your hand and take it." Everybody laughed. The conversation again turned to Prasanna. Narendra said, "Even here we are involved in Maya. Why have we become sannyasis, I wonder?" Rakal said, "I have read in a book the sannyasis should not live together. The author has described a city of sannyasis." Shashi said, "I don't care about sannyas or any such thing. There is no place where I cannot live." They were talking of Bhavanath, whose wife had been seriously ill. Narendra said to Rakal, "I understand that his wife has been snatched from the jaws of death. Is that why he went to Dakshineshwar to enjoy the fresh air?" Rambabu intended to build a temple in the garden at Kankurgachi, where some of Sri Ramakrishna's ashes were buried. Narendra said to Rakal, "Rambabu has made Yam one of the trustees of the garden." Yam said to Rakal, "But I don't know anything about it." It was dusk. Shashi burnt incense before the picture of Sri Ramakrishna in the worship room, and then before the pictures of gods and goddesses in other rooms. The evening worship began. The members of the Mutt and the other devotees stood with folded hands near the door of the shrine and witnessed the arati. Then they all sang in chorus the following hymn to Shiva to the accompaniment of bell and gong. Jai Shiva Omkara, Bhaja Shiva Omkara, Brahma Vishnu Sadashiv, Hara 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 Mahadev. Narendra had introduced this song for the evening worship. It is sung in the temple of Shiva in Benares. We shall stop here. Any questions to ask? Stop here. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart might be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire, only lust raging furiously within. O name, stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself, O self, drowned deep in the waves of His bliss, tasting His nectar at every step, bathing in His name, that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord. In each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass, be patient and bearing like a tree. Take no honor to thyself, give honor to all. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue. The playthings of lust or the toys of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy, consider him as dust beneath thy feet. How I long for the day An instant's separation from the old Lord will be as 1,000 years, when my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be, in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O thou, who stillest the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere. May all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous attain tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the freed make others free. May good betide all people, may the sovereign righteously rule the earth, may all beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy. May the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, may all countries be freed from calamity, may holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.